Hello everybody, this is Clive at 5 and you are watching Most Embarrassing Replays. Thank you so much for joining me today on the show where you send me your embarrassing replays. I watch them, commentate them, and put them up online for everyone to see. And if you'd like to be on the show, please send your embarrassing replays to replays@poweroverwhelming.net and we'll get you on the show. Right now we're going to go ahead and get into the first match, so stay tuned. Alright everyone, I am really excited to be casting this match. This is ChaoxTech, of course you know him, and he is playing against none other than Liquid Ret. Just Ret I'm going to call him because that's what he's known as. Ret, if you didn't know, is, well, he's a pro StarCraft gamer. He played BroodWar back in the day. He was on Team Eastro, really big Zerg macro style. And it looks like ChaoxTech is pre-QQing, and he said again, so I'm wondering if he played Ret before. So ChaoxTech, he says he's terrible, but he's on the border of the top 200 in the US, so he's sort of on the edge of being a Grandmasters player, and we of course are all rooting for him to make that league. Wouldn't that be awesome if we had a power overwhelming person in Grandmasters? I think so. So anyway, it looks like ChaoxTech, of course, he's going up against a Zerg, so he's putting that front door supply depot down. Has already begun the search, starting off by just bumping that Zelmaga tower. I like that little move, and it looks like he's going to go for some sort of a proxy barrack, so it doesn't look like he actually cares about his position at all. By his I mean Ret's position. And man, QQing a lot, pre-QQing I should say, from ChaoxTech, and it looks like Liquid Ret sticking true to his playstyle, going for a hatchery first. Like I said, he's a big macro player in StarCraft 2. You'll see him really doing great on his creep spread, just all over the map. He's all into that sort of thing. Of course, all pro StarCraft 2 gamers, anyway, they do well with their creep, of course, but Liquid Ret especially so. Now going for spawning pool and gas, of course. Let's see what's happening for ChaoxTech. Well, aside from that barracks, which is now getting scouted.
Add-on.
Oh, just barely getting scouted by Liquid Ret. He's going to keep that. Keep that moving. Lucky. I wonder if he knows he's been scouted. Oh. Well, I don't. You might be able to get that barracks finished. It's awfully close, and if he does, with help of this proxy barracks and Reaper, he barely just finishes. So now if he is able to land that Reaper inside the barracks, especially with these SCVs to repair, he might be in okay shape. Here comes the Reaper, trying to micro around these drones. The drones are going to try to capture it in, and if they can just get a surround, then they'll be fine. Ooh, just barely makes it around. And now that Reaper has free reign against this hatchery. In the meantime, let's see what's going down. Factory in the front door, and Roach Warren going down. So it looks like Ret is going to gang up on this barracks with a bunch of roaches. It's a good plan. He has plenty of time before that hatchery goes down. Ooh, maybe able to, almost able to catch that second Reaper out in the open. So yeah, hatcheries do have quite a bit of health. He has quite a bit of time before actually having to take it down. It looks like he's actually going to mass Zerglings, however, in order to take down that bunker. And now the forces converge on that bunker. Health going down. Looks like he might actually lose the hatchery. That is rough for Ret. I'm wondering if ChaoxTech actually stands a chance to win this match, but now there are plenty of Zerglings out. Not a whole lot for ChaoxTech at this point. A couple Hellions going to be done, though, by the time he gets back to his main. Oh, looks like the Zergling's just going to force that barracks to lift up and escape. Might not be able to take down that tech lab. And that's a little nifty ledge there. Can't be accessible from any other side. That's sort of a bummer. Zergling's running around, not going to find anything. Oh, he hasn't even scouted yet. Ret hasn't. Well, by process of elimination now, I think you can assume that ChaoxTech is in that top corner. Ooh, losing just a single, well, maybe that was a second drone, rather. So now ChaoxTech doing what he's best known for, and that is Hellion harass. Hellions meet Zerglings. Zerglings get crispified, and yes, that is a word, crispified. Third hatch going down for Liquid Ret, not wasting any time, getting that macro up and running. Let's take a check-in on the income here. Ret, of course, leading in harvesters, but that could change as soon as these Hellions come to town. Ooh, actually no drones in the natural yet. And, well, Hellions without that blue flame, not quite as effective. They might be able to take down one of the queens, and they do. Drones now on the run. Spine crawler not complete yet, and oh my goodness, Liquid Ret GG's. So ChaoxTech taking down the former BroodWar pro gamer. That is impressive. I have to hand it to him. I'm gonna buy that guy a beer next time I see him. No, wait, actually, I think he's not of drinking age, so not gonna buy him a beer. Wow, that's quite the game right there. So that was really exciting. Now we're gonna move on to a game that's not pro level, but still embarrassing. So stay tuned, everyone. All right, everyone, welcome back. This is a matchup on Antigua Shipyard. Antigua, whatever it is. It's not in the lore, so I just had to sort of make it up. Antigua Shipyard. This is a matchup between Tosselcap, the red Protoss, in the 5 o'clock position, and ChaoxTech, the blue Terran, in the 8 o'clock position. It's been so long since I've seen a Terran player on Most Embarrassing Replays. That excites me. Since most of the Power Overwhelming crew came from catching Fusion's live stream, a lot of them are Protoss players. Also, a lot of them are Zerg players. Basically, we have no Terran players except for ChaoxTech and myself, and the two of us are not even comparable. So, yeah, I've really been lacking on the Terran play. If you are a Terran player and have an embarrassing replay, please, please, please send it in to me. Replays at poweroverwhelming.net. Show airs live Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock Central. Terran player is going for a front door seal, by the way, which I am starting to actually hate against Protoss. It just basically seems as though all the Protoss players nowadays know how to, get enough vision up the ramp so they can pick off the supply depots, and then they're getting their buildings picked off, and they're getting side blocked, and it's just a big mess. So I almost never do a front door block as Terran anymore. So we'll see if this puts ChaoxTech in a precarious situation. Meanwhile, we see Tosselcap, clever name by the way, Tosselcap, going for, well, nothing out of the ordinary. Single gas, single gateway, and putting a pylon towards the front of his base. So he might be going for some sort of an early expansion. Not quite sure about that yet. Getting a little bit of freeze too, so sorry about my frame rate issues. I'm temporarily on a weaker video card. My 470 died. Not too happy about that. I'm going to try to get EVGA to fix that for me. Protoss, unfortunately, scouting in the wrong direction. Toxic scouting in the proper direction. Both players could have found each other at about the same time. And not that I would really recommend entering your opponent's base until about this time anyway, because there's not a whole lot of build diversification going down. And now we just see the Nexus going down for TosselCap. He was storing up those minerals. Nothing else going on inside his base. Toxic, in the meantime, going for a couple Marines. Doesn't look like he's getting ready to put down an expansion yet. Going for a factory as well. So if he chooses to get aggressive, and now he's actually scouted that TosselCap is going for a fast Nexus, he may choose to get a little bit more aggressive earlier to try to shut down TosselCap's early expansion here. Take the aggressive advantage, as you might say. Actually, I don't know anyone who says that. But he certainly has an opportunity to go ahead and try to take advantage of the fact that TosselCap won't have as many units out on the field for quite some time. In fact, first Zealot just coming out now. And so we're seeing a 1-1-1 from Toxic. I'm wondering if he'll probably be going for medevacs. That's going to be my first guess, since he has been going mainly infantry so far. He could also be going for a Hellion drop. No, that factory is pretty idle, so I'm going to guess that he's might actually be going for... Well, actually it's hard to tell, because usually either you should have another barracks down if you're going to go infantry, or you'll be producing something from that factory. Factory is now producing a Hellion, so maybe he'll be going for a Hellion drop. Oh, I guess he had a Hellion going before. Alright everyone, I'm back. So sorry about that. My computer, well, my StarCraft crashed. Figures. I'm going to blame the graphics card, even though I don't really know. So anyway, as I was saying before, this is sort of Toxic's window of opportunity to attack. Now it looks like TosselCap's starting to create an army at his front base, and the longer that Toxic waits, the less likely it is that he's going to have that army advantage. Of course, he'll still be rolling for a little while. Taking a look at the army sizes, Toxic is still a little bit in the lead. However, taking a look at army composition with those force fields and, of course, the Guardian Shield, that is, these sentries can really reduce Marine damage by a substantial amount. A medevac is out, by the way, and going to be moving towards the back of the base, so it looks like these Hellions are going to come in, try to draw TosselCap's troops out, and in the meantime, hopefully we'll see a drop in the back. I really love those sort of dual-pronged attacks, and here's the dropship, medevac rather, moving in. Hellions trying to distract, doing a really great job, and in the meantime, here come the Marines. Let's just see what sort of reaction time TosselCap has. No stim yet on those Marines. That would be really detrimental. And now finally TosselCap moving back. No, not even moving back. Just pulling back towards his base, but in the meantime, wow, he has lost all sorts of harvesters. And Hellions running by. Stalker is finally moving in to take care of this threat. Wasn't quite able to take care of all the shields on that Nexus, but wow. So many harvesters lost. Down to 11 for TosselCap. So there you see it right there. You run a large risk when expanding early. Ugh. So laggy. I'm sorry about that, guys. Seems like I always have an excuse for some sort of poor performance. Now Command Center going down for Toxic. I like that. He's gone in and harassed TosselCap. TosselCap is now paranoid. He's leaving these stalkers out on the edge there to try to ward off any incoming medevacs. Medevac's going to keep coming around, it looks like. Oh, this is aggravating. And let's see what sort of damage it can cause this time. Only a couple stalkers though, so they aren't going to do anything substantial, honestly. And the Banshee coming in as well. The Banshee doesn't have Cloak, but it is going to help distract the stalkers. Oh, there are 3 stalkers actually. Banshee needs to be careful. It is, ooh, just going to get picked off, just barely. So poor micro on the part of Toxic. Unfortunate, really. Looks like it had another good attack moving in. Tanks coming out now. You know what, guys? I'm actually going to pause it and restart my computer. Be right back. Alright. So sorry about that. But I am back, and my computer's still a little bit here and there. I don't know what's wrong. Not running anything else, so definitely going to blame it on the graphics card. Sorry about that. Yeah. You've heard enough of me complaining by now though, so let's try to work with what we have here. Oh, I know what it is. My graphics settings are still at max from the 470, so it's probably struggling with that. I should probably tone that down a little bit. Anyway, so we see this command center by Toxic, but we haven't seen him move it out yet. Really think it's probably actually past due for him to move it out. Meanwhile, he has this dropship flying around the back of Tosselcap's expansion, trying to look for a way to get that dropped in there without getting it picked off. There's not a whole lot that Tosselcap can do right now. He is getting caught up in the harvester count, by the way, but in the meantime, he has just a couple of sentries and zealots. Not the best combination against. Ooh. Wow, really good lucky timing from that observer to be traveling across the screen there, and Toxic just gonna let that Banshee die. But anyway, using that to distract while his Marines drop. I had to say, really good distraction tactics from Toxic. Might be losing a couple Marines there, but actually only losing 1, and that dropship's gonna be fine. Trying to warp in stalkers to pick off that dropship. It is gonna make it, just barely. Wow. Finally, Toxic starting to posture forward. Has the command center lifted, but you know, he's actually, well, I can't say that he's falling behind the economy, because as soon as this command center lands, orbital command I should say lands, he'll have plenty of harvesters to transfer over. Should actually probably start thinking about taking a third. In comes the observer. He sees that Toxic is just landing right now, and you know, for as far behind as Tosselcap was in economy, he's made a really great comeback in his harvester count, doing really well there, I have to say. In the meantime, wow, has caught up in army count too, so actually looking like somewhat of an even game at this point in time. Even though these players have exchanged blows, Toxic has had some really nice distractionary tactics, some good drops, taken out a lot of harvesters of Tosselcaps, but really I think he's let his macro suffer, specifically not getting onto that second base until, you know, like 13 minutes in, and it's really hurt him. I did see a warp prism floating around here somewhere. Going to try to keep tabs on that. Should be interesting. I hope I haven't missed... Ah, Dark Shrine. That's what I was kind of hoping I would see. That's going to make things interesting, because there doesn't seem to be an engineering bay out for Toxic around anywhere. Means he's going to have to rely on those scans, and that's going to be especially dangerous since he won't have any of his army up here to respond quickly. Ghost Academy going down in the meantime. And this is going to make things really interesting. Wow, he sees that there are Dark Templar in the base, but responding quickly, getting a good scan off, and losing a siege tank, but not much else. So, wow, really effective, good vision, I guess I should say, reaction to the Dark Templar. Probably only saw it because he happened to be putting down that Ghost Academy right at that moment, too. Well, I shouldn't say only saw it because of that, but probably helped. Ooh, in the meantime, sorry about that, I'm missing a drop in the back of ToxelCap's base. Doesn't look like it was too effective. A few weakened probes, but nothing game-changing, it looks like. Well, I guess I should bite my tongue because it looks like he's back down in the 20s as opposed to being in the upper 30s. Ooh. Scouting Marine catches the Nexus being built. Stalkers moving up. Looks like they're gonna just chill there. Few more Dark Templar coming in. Let's see if these will be a little bit more effective. The scan does go off, but they're right in the middle of those SCVs. They're gonna get, well, several kills before being dispatched. Still an annoyance for Toxic, I have to say, not being able to use that scan on mules instead. The energy, I should say, on the mules. Wow, massively ahead in that income, but really oversaturated here in his natural. Just about mined out here in his main. Sending way too many SCVs in. And has way too many minerals in the bank. Doesn't look like he has enough production, really. Dark Templar moving in, actually hacking away at that supply depot. Don't really understand that. And since the Dark Templar is not attacking anything crucial, Toxic is just going to spend his time putting up... No, he's going to use a scan, I guess. Really not that, you know, detrimental to lose a couple supply depots. In the meantime, oh, sorry, missed another drop. Ooh, looks like it was rather effective. Probes just sitting there, getting fried. Oh, gross. Probes lost because they were just sitting there, waiting to get destroyed. So I have to say, ToxelCap, his timing on his expansions has been fine, but he's really been getting reamed in terms of that harvester count. And now Toxic with a third of his own. Look at the income difference at this point in time. So it's really unfortunate that those DT drops were as unproductive as they were, because I think that's what really started turning around the game solidly in the favor of Toxic at this point in time. But the game's not over, of course, so we will see what happens. I should take a look at what sort of tech is going down here. Not really a whole lot going on. Hellions probably going to come in and rough up this third. No, actually just going to run in and get blown to pieces by what is really a small force here. Oh, more Hellions moving in, and great positioning. Moving in the probes to attack, not the first choice there. And, well, a few of the probes did get taken down, of course, but better than it could have been. Better results, I should say. Careless, that medevac got taken down. Hellions running in, and oof. Able to take down a few more probes, but the photon cannon does its job. I have to say, really great harass from Toxic. Wow, spending a lot on upgrades at this point. Got vehicle plating, vehicle weapons, Mobius reactor for that, ghost energy, ghosts, more tanks. Finally, some Psystorm. That's what I've been... Well, I'm kind of been... actually, Psystorm against this army composition not going to do too great. Though Storm did really great against siege tanks in Brood War, doesn't do as well in Wings of Liberty, I have to say. It's hard to say at this point what the best army composition would be against troops of, or a force of this, well, composition. Maybe Colossus, since their upgraded thermal lances will outrange. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! Wow! And yeah, so those Hellions pretty much unscathed. 2 more command centers going down for Toxic. I don't know if he's just gonna plan to expand with those or make planetary fortresses, I'm not sure, but finally we're seeing some troop movement. And probes to repair those siege tanks. Nice little touch there, I have to say. If you have a large mech army and probes to waste, then why not? Nuke being researched, just about complete, and with some cloaked ghosts. There it is. See that cloak. Here comes the nuke. We will see if that ghost is able to land it. Oh, just gets detection at the nick of time, but the troops are moving in, and Tosselcap's forces are just too small. Hellion's getting outside of the range of those siege tanks. Not that there's really an issue in power there, but really they should try to stay within the range. Ooh, and they don't notice that they're getting ripped apart with those DTs. But a few scans, or a single scan rather, just makes quick work of that. So, now it's the cleanup game time. Tosselcap has a really minimal army remaining left to speak of. Let's see, just Dark Templar running around, Dark Templar running around. Nothing happening with these command centers, and the gigantic tank ball doing what it does best, destroying everything in sight. Yeah, thankfully Toxic has enough scans to be able to just take out those roving Dark Templar. Really, I'd like to see a Raven out too for detection, because there's nothing else really going down from the starport. It has a tech lab on it. Raven can also help with not only detection, but the auto turret, and of course the point defense drone, rendering those stalkers basically worthless. Not that they aren't already worthless against a tank ball of this size. More Dark Templar just getting destroyed immediately as soon as those scans land. On level 3 plating for vehicles, 3 plating and weapons, those tanks are just going to be unstoppable. I'd really like to see another nuke, but nope, not going to happen. Tosselcap leaves the game, and thanks for sending me this replay. I think it was Tosselcap. Maybe it was, well, I get replays from people on behalf of other people. I think actually Dark One sent this one to me from one of his tournaments that he has weekly. I'll just do a little plug on his behalf. Monday nights, Dark One has a gold versus silver tournament that he likes to do. It's pretty casual, lots of fun. Check it out. It's on the website z33k.com. It should be one of the banners on the main page. You'll find it there pretty easily. So yeah, sign up for those. They're a lot of fun. Otherwise, thanks for joining me tonight. We're going to go into, I think, by popular demand, Nexus Wars is kind of seeing a resurgence here, so we might play a few more games of that tonight. If you're catching us on YouTube, be sure to catch us live on poweroverwhelming.net. Following the games, we always do some sort of community activity, so I'd love to have you join, love to have you play Nexus Wars with us. Maybe next week we'll do some SOTUS, because we've been kind of getting, a few of us have been getting into League of Legends, for shame. So if you want to play the StarCraft 2 version, which is SOTUS, Storms of the Imperial Swarm or something like that, definitely do join us next week, 9 o'clock Central on Tuesday nights. Thanks everyone.